keep getting it always on in front of people. Slow down, I speak too quickly. Just right up here, look down on it, just remember to slow down. If you guys want to remind me at any point too, that'd be great. Oh man, you can see if you have a hat on, blocking the lights, it's great. All right.
Turn your mic on.
Oh yeah! Got to warn me about that.
It's adjusted for me.
That's on. All right, thanks again. My name's Scott, and I have two missions tonight. I want to raise awareness for my struggle and tell you how I became a flower guy. What's a flower guy? We'll get to that. It's a journey, but I swear we'll get there. So I want to start off with letting you know about my struggle. I'm a lifelong claustrophobic. What? Claustrophobic. I just despise any restrictive clothing. Okay? What is it? If I have a hat on, right? It has to be light as a feather, right? It also has to be huge to contain my giant skull. If I'm wearing a belt, it has to be down on my hips and not up here where my Nana calls a waist. And if it's over 50 degrees, that belt is holding up shorts, not trousers. But my real problem area is my neck. Oh God, if I'm wearing a tie or a tight shirt, or I have one of those sweatshirts with an extra large hood on it, you know the ones that are just really big now? It's so bad. It restricts my breathing. I can't breathe at all. I can't concentrate. And my head, it goes from this nice, beautiful pink to a really bright red that I don't like at all. The problem is, and I'm facing, is that we live in a culture of norms, where having tight things around your neck makes you seem more sophisticated or more professional. You guys remember when Obama didn't wear a tie and the world almost ended? It was scary stuff. So, where I got my first problem was I got a job in high school at a place called Casa Lupita. Anybody been there?
Yeah.
Beautiful Mexican restaurant down across from the malls in Warwick. So the official uniform for me as a busboy was a beautiful royal blue shirt with a nice logo on it, Casa Lupita, but it had 3 buttons that came right up to my neck. Ah! So I got the job, I started wearing the shirt. About 2 weeks in, I was standing around waiting for customers to show up, and I was with Mike, one of the waiters I was working with that night. And he saw me fiddling with my collar, trying to be able to breathe. And he said, what's wrong? So I told him everything I've told you guys in the last 3 minutes. He's like, oh, that sucks. And then his arm reached out towards my throat, and it got tighter and tighter. And there was a pop! And he ripped off the button off the top of my shirt and thrown it in the trash. He said, how's that? And all I could say was, thanks. So that taught me the importance of having creativity when I was dealing with my claustrophobia. So that was great after high school. And then I graduated college. So I was like, I'm never gonna wear a goddamn tie ever again. So that summer I followed every boy's dream and I went to Alaska to work in a cannery. And that's where I found out there was something worse than wearing a tie. It was working the entire summer covered in fish guts. No matter how long you showered, you just showered in more fish guts. You just couldn't get rid of the fish guts. So I decided that maybe I would have to wear a tie. I came back to Rhode Island and I started a new career at a firm called Putnam Investments, a high-flying world of finance, where I was at the end of an 800 number wearing a headset. So really high-flying stuff, really and the official uniform there at Putnam Investments for the gentlemen was a starched white shirt and a tight tie done up right to your collar, right to your neck. And if you weren't wearing that, you get a warning. Perhaps you get suspended or then fired if you couldn't follow the dress code. So that started my 20-year game of cat and mouse, where I'd wear my tie a little bit loose, or I'd undo my top button and make a really big knot in my tie so it would cover up the top button not being done up. But that made a problem because that would make my tie shorter and I'd wear my pants real low, so I'd have this my tie and my belt of just nothing. Usually it was where I'd spill my coffee or pizza. So that was a problem. And I want to point out again that we were on King Street in Franklin, Massachusetts. There were no clients there. Zoom didn't exist. So all we were doing was doing business person cosplay. We amused ourselves and I suppose the geese that were shitting all over the lawn and running around the pond. occasionally I'd have someone, you know, I was playing my little loose tie games, and somebody would come up to me and try and fix my tie, and I'd wave them away, I'm like, are you trying to kill me? But it's difficult. So eventually, I was getting more senior, and I was being up in front of crowds more often, like this, but usually with a PowerPoint. So I'd be in front of those, and I'd do my little tie things. And after like 20 years of this, I figured, that's enough. So I just took all my ties and I threw them in the trash. I'm not gonna do that anymore. I can't do that anymore myself. So I went on Amazon, and I got a box of these 12 little flowers. So I took one of these flowers, I started wearing them on my jacket, a little pop of color, just like a tie, but without strangling me. And I go to a conference, I go to register, and someone goes, oh my God, I love your flower. They never said shit about my ties. So I knew I was doing the right thing. So that's how I became a flower guy. So if you see me or anyone else like really struggling or wearing one of these, just let us know you see us and you understand. Just give us a little. Recognize that claustrophobia is a real thing, and there are millions of us out here struggling with it every day. Thank you.